Could tell you article after article after article that Piers Morgan has written, and you can look at his Twitter feed anytime, day or night, to see that he preaches hypocrisy, he preaches disrespect. He says that Harry and Meghan are absolutely outrageous towards the monarchy. Here's one. Piers Morgan brands Meghan Markle a mini royal Kardashian. Here's another one. Piers Morgan lashing out at Harry and Meghan for their staggering disrespect for the Queen. In fact, there are endless articles. Here's a list of them. Endless articles of Piers Morgan where he has gone on at Harry and Meghan. Stop playing the victim, Harry. You and Meghan brought negative press on yourselves. Piers Morgan, if you're truly a humanitarian, Meghan, show some damn heart to your loving father. Another one here. Why Meghan self-indulgent empowering banana was a humiliating farce. Meghan Markle is a ruthless social climbing actress. Piers Morgan, foolish father of Meghan, but no one has to blame but himself for missing the biggest day of his daughter's life. That's actually almost pro-Meghan. Meghan's appearance at Queen's birthday proves her decision to go MIA during Trump's state visit was a shameful failure of her royal duty. Fair enough. Piers talked to me about hypocrisy of Meghan and Harry, and don't talk to me about disrespecting the monarchy. Piers Morgan, you are in no position, as much as I absolutely love you on Good Morning Britain, you are in absolutely no position to preach respect for the royal family. You are in no position to write an article where you actually discuss the staggering disrespect, your words, towards the monarchy.
Ladies and gentlemen, gather round as we delve into the curious case of Piers Morgan, a man who claims to champion truth, yet seems to have a selective memory when it comes to the Duchess of Sussex. From calling Meghan Markle a mini royal Kardashian to accusing her of staggering disrespect towards the Queen, Piers Morgan has certainly made his opinions known. Tell me why Piers Morgan wakes up every day like Meghan Markle personally kicked his dog and stole his car. The man has built an entire second career off the back of one woman deciding she didn't want to keep texting him. Let's talk about that. Because Christo Fufas, bless him, finally said what we've all been thinking. He didn't yell, he didn't throw chairs. He calmly laid Piers out with logic, receipts, and a tone that said, "I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed that you're still this obsessed in 2025. You can't demand sympathy for Princess Diana and then turn around and crucify Meghan Markle for saying the exact same things Diana once did. The media's pressure, the constant surveillance, the mental health toll. Same story, different woman. But suddenly, Piers is deaf, blind, and conveniently forgetful. Remember when Piers used to weep on air about Diana? About how the press hounded her, destroyed her? He wrote heartfelt editorials about the paparazzi going too far. He said Diana's death was a wake-up call for the British press. And it was. For about 5 minutes. Until Meghan entered the chat and suddenly empathy left the building. Now we've got a man who acts like Meghan personally betrayed him, not because she did anything to him, but because she had the audacity to not call him back. Imagine carrying a grudge for that long. Therapy is cheaper than this constant self-humiliation, I promise you. Christo Fufas, a man in the media, had the guts to call it out. He pointed out the straight-up contradiction. You don't get to claim moral high ground about Diana's treatment, and then mock Meghan when she says she's suffering from the same exact playbook. That's not journalism, that's projection in a nice suit. Let's break down the hypocrisy, because Lord knows there's a lot of it. Piers says Harry and Meghan disrespect the monarchy, that they bring the press on themselves, that they want privacy but do interviews. Cool, but where was this energy when Prince Andrew was out here doing what Prince Andrew did? Crickets, tumbleweeds, silence. But Meghan, an American biracial woman who married into the royal family and said, "Hey, I'm not okay," suddenly she's the downfall of the empire. Please, this isn't about royal tradition. This is about control, power, and the fact that Meghan didn't play the game the way they wanted her to. Cristo took that mirror and held it up to Piers's face. And the reflection wasn't flattering. Because when you're mad at a woman for not wanting to talk to you anymore, and you've written more articles about her than actual wars happening in the world, that's not journalism. That's a vendetta with a WordPress account. Piers constantly accuses Meghan and Harry of playing the victim. Meanwhile, he's made a career playing the victim of Meghan not texting him back. This man had one interaction with her. 90 minutes, one drink, one goodbye, and turned it into a full-blown Marvel villain origin story. Like Sir, she left the pub. She didn't steal the crown jewels. And what Cristo did so brilliantly was not just call out the obsession, he reminded people of what this all really is, a pattern, a repeated, tired, cruel pattern. The press builds a woman up, then tears her down, then acts shocked when she says, "I'm leaving." They did it to Diana. They tried it with Meghan. The only difference? Meghan got out before it killed her. That's the part they can't stand. That she survived. That she said, "You will not do to me what you did to her," and left with her husband and kids intact. And instead of reflecting, instead of learning, people like Piers Morgan decided to light the torches and chase her into exile. This isn't about truth. It's about control. It's about punishing a woman who chose her peace over their narrative. Meghan didn't want to be a puppet for the palace PR machine, and the press couldn't handle it, especially Piers, who seems to think Meghan walking away from him is the same as her walking away from Britain. Cristo saw all of this and said, "Enough." He pulled out Piers' own quotes, the ones where he talked about the press killing Diana, the ones where he said William and Harry were traumatized by media intrusion. And then he asked the question that Piers refuses to answer. Why is it different now? Why does Meghan get no compassion? Because if you really cared about Diana, if you really believed what you wrote all those years ago, then you would have seen the warning signs in Meghan's story. You would have recognized the same headlines, the same paparazzi behavior, the same dog whistle racism disguised as critique. But you didn't, because caring about Diana made you look good. Defending Meghan wouldn't. And that's the rot Cristo exposed, the selectiveness of empathy, the idea that some women are worth protecting and others aren't, based not on their experience but on whether they fit a certain image, a certain class, a certain color. It's not journalism, it's performance. So when Cristo calmly dismantled Piers on air, it wasn't just a clapback, it was a reckoning. A reminder that truth doesn't disappear just because someone with a louder microphone says otherwise. And sometimes it takes someone inside the machine, someone who's seen how the sausage is made, to stand up and say, "We're not doing this again." Piers can keep screaming into the void. He can keep writing op-eds and calling Meghan everything but a child of God. But the world is catching on. People are tired of the obsession, tired of the hypocrisy, tired of the same tired tropes recycled like it's 1997 with a new name. Meghan isn't perfect, but perfection was never the requirement. Humanity was, decency was, and that's the thing Piers can't stand, that she refused to beg for acceptance from a system that was never going to love her back. So yeah, Cristo dropped truth bombs, and they landed, because you can't talk about respecting the monarchy while frothing at the mouth about two people who left. You can't pretend you care about mental health and then mock someone who says they were suicidal. And you damn sure can't preach about royal dignity while spending half your airtime in a tantrum over a woman you met once. So here's the real question. If Meghan really didn't matter, why are you still talking about her? If she's irrelevant, why is she your headline every other day? Here's a hint. It's not about Meghan. It's about what she represents. Independence, defiance, a refusal to be broken, and for people like Piers, that's the real threat. Not what she said, not what she wore, not what she did, but that she said no and meant it. So shout out to Christo Fufas for saying the quiet part out loud, for breaking ranks and calling it what it is, not a debate, not a scandal, just plain old media obsession dressed up as commentary. And to Piers, my guy, go outside. Touch grass, drink some water, let it go. She's not coming back, and this performance isn't aging well.